Perched atop the majestic peak of the Great Dividing Range in Victoria, the world below was buried in a silent sea of snow. I had come here seeking a peaceful vacation and a long overdue visit with a friend, but fate had other plans. Whispers of wild boars rampaging through nearby streets shattered the calm, turning a quiet getaway into a call to action. The threat was real and growing. So, rifle in hand and heart pounding with purpose, I joined a local hunting team at dawn. What began as a scenic escape quickly transformed into a high-stakes mission across this icy, unfamiliar land. After nearly an hour of navigating the rugged terrain, we finally reached the snow-blanketed heights of the Great Dividing Range in Victoria. The air was crisp, the silence broken only by the crunch of boots against frozen ground. Through the scope, we spotted our targets, several wild boars, their dark shapes stark against the white snow. They seemed calm, basking in a patch of sunlight, an illusion of peace. From higher ground, I steadied my rifle and focused on the largest among them. One clean shot echoed through the mountain range, and the boar dropped instantly. That single moment sparked the adrenaline of the hunt. As we moved in closer, the rest of the herd burst into motion, chaotic, fast, and unpredictable. Wild boars can sprint up to 30 miles per hour and are known to change direction in an instant, making them formidable targets. I lined up again, and another clean shot brought a second boar down. The herd, nearly 10 strong, split in every direction. Using a time-tested hunting strategy, we broke into smaller teams and fanned out across the snowy terrain, aiming to flank and isolate stragglers. One massive boar, nearly invisible against a patch of shaded ground, emerged while rooting through the snow. From over 500 meters, I took the shot, and it hit home. The boar collapsed without warning, its strength no match for the precision of the bullet. But not every shot ended in victory. One boar, though clearly hit, managed to slip into the dense vegetation lining the ridge. We tracked it tirelessly through thick brush and steep slopes until I finally spotted its dark silhouette moving low and slow. My heart pounded as I raised my rifle for the final shot. On a nearby ridge, our team flushed out another large male hiding in the undergrowth. Surrounded and worn down, the boar made a desperate crawl for escape, but our coordinated fire ended its struggle. Even in freezing temperatures, sweat soaked our backs from the intensity of the chase. Wild boars may appear clumsy, but in reality, They're relentless survivors with razor-sharp tusks and a fierce will to live.
Yes.
As the day wore on, fatigue crept in. Our breathing grew heavier, our trigger fingers slower. Spotting another large herd, we pushed forward for one final effort. The snow crunched louder beneath our boots as we raised our rifles, but exhaustion had dulled our precision. Most shots missed. Only one boar was injured, limping away from the rest. We quickly refocused, and after a few more rounds, the wounded animal finally went down.
Çok güzel.
With nightfall nearing and muscles aching, we knew it was time to call it. We returned from the hunt with sore bodies, frozen fingers, and a deep sense of satisfaction. Each wild boar we took down a step closer to protecting local farms from the devastation this invasive species causes. Nestled along Turkey's iron coast, the forested hills may not tower like alpine peaks, but they're teeming with life and trouble. These low-lying, humid woodlands have become a hotspot for wild boar activity. With local crops constantly under threat and boars frequently damaging farmland, hunting here serves more than just sport. It's become a vital part of regional wildlife control. According to Turkey's Ministry of Agriculture, wild boars cause millions of lira in annual crop losses, prompting regular hunts to manage their swelling numbers. That's exactly why we returned, rifles in hand and eyes scanning every shadow in the underbrush. As I climbed a narrow mountain trail, a sudden radio call from my teammates snapped me into action. Boar incoming. I crouched low, adjusting my sights in the split second before the animal burst into view. I fired 3 quick shots. Each one found its mark, and the boar collapsed beneath a thicket of pine. The sharp scent of gunpowder still hung in the air as I advanced uphill, adrenaline coursing through my veins. From the summit, I could track movements across the valley. When another boar emerged below, I took aim, exhaled slowly, and landed a clean, single shot to bring it down. Moments later, rustling in the dense bushes caught my attention. A lone boar crouched low, partially hidden in the thorns. I crept closer, careful not to snap a twig. At just the right moment, I fired, but this one didn't fall easily. It bolted, zigzagging through the trees. It took 2 more shots before it finally dropped. It wasn't the largest I'd seen, but it had the kind of fierce resistance that reminded me why these animals are so difficult to control. Wild boars can run up to 30 miles per hour and have an uncanny ability to detect danger, making every hunt a test of both speed and strategy. Back on the trail, I was wiping my rifle when I spotted a dark figure on the opposing ridge. It moved fast, definitely another boar, likely panicked by earlier gunfire. I rushed across the slope, cutting off its escape. As soon as we locked eyes, I raised my weapon and fired. One precise shot and it was over. But there was no time to relax. We regrouped quickly and pressed on to higher ground, alert to every sound. Then, a sudden rustle. John raised his rifle, fired instinctively, but 2 boars darted past just outside our range. We knew we had to change tactics. Calling in our hunting dogs turned the tide. Their sharp senses and tireless energy flushed out multiple targets that had hidden deep in the brush. Once in the open, the wild boars stood little chance. Our team was stationed at strategic choke points, rifles ready. The moment the animals burst into view, a coordinated volley erupted. It was like a well-oiled machine in action. Boar after boar fell as we tightened our formation. The dogs, relentless and focused, continued pushing the remaining stragglers toward our line. Though exhausted, our team knew today was a success. But with Turkey's wild boar population increasing by an estimated 15% annually, this battle is far from over. We'll be back, and so will they. In the sun-scorched hills of Chaparral, California, the battle between man and beast plays out under tight legal scrutiny. Hunting wild boars here isn't a chaotic free-for-all, it's a calculated mission bound by strict regulations. Only licensed hunters armed with legal firearms or bows are allowed to take part. But legality doesn't make the challenge any easier. These boars are no ordinary prey. They're sharp-witted, thick-skinned, and dangerously unpredictable. Still, we knew the stakes. One day without action could mean another night of destruction as these invaders creep ever closer to the city's edge. And so, with precision and purpose, our team set out, not just to hunt, but to defend what's left of peace in Chaparral. After finalizing our game plan, the team quietly dispersed into the rugged landscape of Chaparral, California. Each of us was armed and alert, moving slowly through thick brush under the glare of the late afternoon sun. Roughly 30 minutes into the search, the silence broke. A massive wild boar barreled downhill through a thicket straight toward me. It was so sudden, I had mere seconds to react. Only 4 meters away, I steadied my aim and pulled the trigger. The first shot hit, but the beast tried to pivot and escape. I quickly followed up, this time, a clean kill. Off in the distance, the barking of our hunting dogs signaled fresh movement nearby. Tracking the sound through the trees, I spotted 2 more boars attempting to sneak through the dense woods. My position was tight, branches obstructing most of my view, but years of hunting had sharpened my instincts. I waited for one to pause, then took my shot, a perfect hit. The second boar bolted uphill, dodging between tree trunks. I exhaled slowly, refocused, and squeezed off another round. A second takedown, just seconds apart. Encounters like these remind us why wild boars are so difficult to manage. They're smart, unpredictable, and thrive in thick terrain. In California alone, it's estimated that over 400,000 feral pigs roam the state, causing millions in agricultural damage annually. Continuing along the mountain's edge, I noticed signs of frequent boar activity, overturned soil, hoof prints, and broken saplings. These animals tend to use forest roads and game trails to move more efficiently. But unlike deer, they don't creep across cautiously. They rush. You've got seconds to react, miss that moment, and they're gone.